Section 53 of Gray's Anatomy, Part 5. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by John T. Coos, John K. Thomas. Anatomy of the Human Body, Part 5, by Henry Gray. 8. Surface markings of the abdomen. Bony landmarks. Above, the chief bony markings are the xiphoid process, the lower 6 costal cartilages, and the anterior ends of the lower 6 ribs. The junction between the body of the sternum and the xiphoid process is on the level of the 10th thoracic vertebra. Below, the main landmarks are the symphysis pubis and the pubic crest and tubercle, the anterior superior iliac spine, and the iliac crest. Muscles. The rectus lies between the linea alba and the linea semilunaris. The former is indicated by the middle line, the latter by a curved line, convex lateralward, from the tip of the cartilage of the 9th rib to the pubic tubercle. At the level of the umbilicus, the linea semilunaris is about 7 centimeters from the middle line, the line indicating the junction of the muscular fibers of obliquus externus with its aponeurosis extends from the tip of the 9th costal cartilage to a point just medial to the anterior superior iliac spine. The umbilicus is at the level of the fibrocartilage between the 3rd and 4th lumbar vertebrae. The subcutaneous inguinal ring is situated 1 centimeter above and lateral to the pubic tubercle. The abdominal inguinal ring lies 1 to 2 centimeters above the middle of the inguinal ligament. The position of the inguinal canal is indicated by a line joining these 2 points. Surface lines. For convenience of description of the viscera and of reference to morbid conditions of the contained parts, the abdomen is divided into 9 regions by imaginary planes, 2 horizontal and 2 sagittal, the edges of the planes being indicated by lines drawn on the surface of the body. In the older method, the upper or subcostal horizontal line encircles the body at the level of the lowest points of the 10th costal cartilages. The lower or intertubercular is a line carried through the highest points of the iliac crest seen from the front, i.e., through the tubercles on the iliac crests about 5 centimeters behind the anterior superior spines. An alternative method is that of Addison, who adopts the following lines. 1. An upper transverse, the transpyloric, halfway between the jugular notch and the upper border of the symphysis pubis. This indicates the margin of the transpyloric plane, which in most cases cuts through the pylorus, the tips of the 9th costal cartilages, and the lower border of the 1st lumbar vertebra. 2. A lower transverse line midway between the upper transverse and the upper border of the symphysis pubis. This is termed the transtubercular, since it practically corresponds to that passing through the iliac tubercles. Behind, its plane cuts the body of the 5th lumbar vertebra. By means of these horizontal planes, the abdomen is divided into 3 zones named from above: the subcostal, umbilical, and hypogastric zones. Each of these is further subdivided into 3 regions by the 2 sagittal planes, which are indicated on the surface by a right and left lateral line drawn vertically through points halfway between the anterior superior iliac spines and the middle line. The middle region of the upper zone is called epigastric, and the two lateral regions, the right and left hypochondriac. The central region of the middle zone is the umbilical, and the two lateral regions, the right and left lumbar. The middle region of the lower zone is the hypogastric or pubic, and the lateral are the right and left iliac or inguinal. The middle regions, viz. Epigastric, umbilical, and pubic, can each be divided into right and left portions by the middle line. In the following description of the viscera, the regions marked out by Addison's lines are those referred to. Stomach. The shape of the stomach is constantly undergoing alteration. It is affected by the particular phase of the process of gastric digestion, by the state of the surrounding viscera, and by the amount and character of its contents. Its position also varies with that of the body, so that it is impossible to indicate it on the surface with any degree of accuracy. The measurements given refer to a moderately filled stomach with the body in the supine position. The cardiac orifice is opposite the 7th costal cartilage, about 2.5 centimeters from the side of the sternum. It corresponds to the level of the 10th thoracic vertebra. The pyloric orifice is on the transpyloric line about 1 centimeter to the right of the middle line, or alternately 5 centimeters below the 7th right sternocostal articulation. It is at the level of the first lumbar vertebra. A curved line, convex downward and to the left, joining these points indicates the lesser curvature. In the left lateral line, the fundus of the stomach reaches as high as the 5th interspace, or the 6th costal cartilage, a little below the apex of the heart. To indicate the greater curvature, a curved line is drawn from the cardiac orifice to the summit of the fundus, thence downward and to the left, finally turning medialward to the pyloric orifice, but passing on its way through the intersection of the left lateral with the transpyloric line. The portion of the stomach which is in contact with the abdominal wall can be represented roughly by a triangular area, the base of which is formed by a line drawn from the tip of the 10th left costal cartilage to the tip of the 9th right cartilage, and the sides by two lines drawn from the end of the 8th left costal cartilage to the ends of the base line. A space of some clinical importance, the space of Traub, overlies the stomach and may be thus indicated. It is semilunar in outline and lies within the following boundaries: the lower edge of the left lung, the anterior border of the spleen, the left costal margin, and the inferior margin of the left lobe of the liver. Duodenum. The superior part is horizontal and extends from the pylorus to the right lateral line. The descending part is situated medial to the right lateral line, from the transpyloric line to a point midway between the transpyloric and transtubercular lines. The horizontal part runs with a slight upward slope from the end of the descending part to the left of the middle line. The ascending part is vertical and reaches the transpyloric line, where it ends in the duodenojejunal flexure, about 2.5 centimeters to the left of the middle line. Small intestine. The coils of the small intestine occupy the front of the abdomen. For the most part, the coils of the jejunum are situated on the left side, i.e., in the left lumbar and iliac regions, and in the left half of the umbilical region. The coils of the ilium lie toward the right in the right lumbar and iliac regions. In the right half of the umbilical region and in the hypogastric region, a portion of the ilium is within the pelvis. The end of the ilium, i.e., the iliocolic junction, is slightly below